You probably didn't notice, but Andrew Wiggins has been wearing a new basketball shoe. It's an all-white pair that he started to lace up back in September during the Miami Heat's NBA Media Day. It's the same shoe he wore when he made that game-winning dunk against Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs. You probably know that Wiggins is signed with Chinese footwear brand Peak. In fact, he's had a couple of signature shoes with the brand. But what if I tell you that what he has been wearing lately is actually his upcoming signature shoe, the Peak AW4? You see, I have been writing sneaker stories and posting shoe reviews for more than 10 years, and through those years, you might have noticed that Peak has not really done heavy marketing whenever Andrew Wiggins debuts his latest basketball shoes. I bet others probably don't know that there was even a third signature shoe, because as early as August, photos of the Peak AW4 have already surfaced. Now, there's a good chance that you haven't played in any Peak basketball shoes if you're in the US, and there's a reason for this. But if you're in Asia, including the Philippines, you have probably seen Wiggins' earlier signature shoes, or maybe even played in them. With the upcoming Peak AW4, it's most likely gonna be the same story, but there are several things you need to know, so let's have a quick conversation. Trust me when I say that the tech specs are nothing wild, but here's the thing. They seem consistent with how Peak has been implementing tech in their shoes lately. Like its other lineup of shoes, the AW4 uses breathable mesh upper with TPU film overlays. It looks similar to what was used in the Peak Elf as well as the Peak Unrivaled. Even the cushioning sticks to what's tried and tested over the past several years for the brand. That's because the midsole uses full-length Peak Tai Chi foam. Now, if you've ever played in one of Peak's recent basketball shoes, you would know that the brand's Tai Chi foam offers a well-cushioned ride. It has great impact protection, which is exactly what it's built for. It's soft and lightweight, but not as bouncy as Boost, for example. And because it is softer than your average foam, it's no surprise that the Peak AW4 has a TPU sidewall for cushioning support, together with a bottom-loaded carbon plate called Peak Foothold. But there's one thing different this time, except that it sounds oddly familiar, because this time around the outsole material uses what the brand calls Peak GCU. Now, if that sounds familiar, that's because it is. GCU is also what Li Ning calls its outsole material for its other recent shoes. For Li Ning, GCU is short for Ground Control Unit, which is a type of cast polyurethane. For the Peak AW4, the brand uses an outsole with the same name but could have a different material composition. But there's another aspect of Andrew Wiggins' signature line that you need to know. And that's Wiggins' signature line has a couple of versions. You may call them a secondary signature line, but they are not really being considered by Peak as takedown models. There are two shoes that you might have heard of. There's the AW Talent, and then there's the AW Switch. Each one is built different. The AW Talent is said to be inspired by Wiggins' playing style. It's built for explosive movements, speed, and stability. It's mostly similar in terms of tech to the main signature line, and even the price is not too far off. The main difference is that it generally uses a more breathable upper and tackier outsole material. You also have the AW Switch signature line. The reason for the name is that the shoe usually has an interchangeable drop-in midsole. You can literally switch midsole so that you can have the appropriate cushioning based on what you need. You can usually choose between the more responsive type and the softer variant. Looking back, Wiggins truly has gone a long way with his sneaker career, and it all started more than 10 years ago. Andrew Wiggins started with Adidas in 2014. His 5-year deal with the brand made him the face of the Crazy Explosive series at some point. But it was in December 2020, 6 years into his NBA career, and when he was with the Golden State Warriors, when Wiggins signed with Peak. His first signature shoe with the Chinese brand came out in late 2022, although prior to this, Peak and Wiggins ran into an issue, which is that Wiggins wore with the Nike Kobe 80 Exodus instead of Peak shoes. It started on May 9 during Game 4 of the 2022 Western Conference semifinals against the Grizzlies, then through all games of the conference finals against the Mavericks, and eventually through all games of the NBA Finals against the Celtics. He was already signed with Peak at the time, so it came as a surprise, especially since the Nike shoe had Kobe and Nike's logos covered in black. It was most likely disappointing for his Chinese fans to not see him wear Peak basketball shoes on the world's biggest stage. This prompted him to apologize and explain things in his Weibo account, saying that his new Peak basketball shoes were delivered at the start of the NBA Finals and that he requested not to wear them yet because it will take about 5 games to fully break them in. Today, Peak and Wiggins continue with their partnership, and it seems like it's gonna go on for a very long time. I don't think Peak will let go of Andrew Wiggins anytime soon. While the brand recently acquired Malik Monk as its latest NBA endorser, I don't see Wiggins getting replaced. The upcoming Peak AW4 seems to indicate that the fourth signature shoe is not gonna be the end. You may see Wiggins' signature line even get a fifth iteration, sixth, and so on. But I wanna hear what you have to say, because if you're living in Asia, there's a good chance that you have already seen Andrew Wiggins' signature shoes with Peak. But it's most likely different if you're living in the US, because Peak is not widely available there, which is unfortunate because Wiggins' signature shoes have been good performers and are quick to go on discount. But let me know what you think. Hey man, thanks for watching. You can support me and my cats by joining my channel membership. Thanks, and I hope to see you on the next one.